Hi, George here with what's new in Adobe Premiere Elements 2026. And when you first load in the program, you'll be getting this little pop-up window here. You can get rid of the pop-up by checking right down there. It shows you most of the new features over here. There are a couple more that we'll be talking about in this video. Now, one thing you won't be seeing in here is any kind of AI. Generative AI has not been included inside of Premiere Elements 2026. Maybe next year that will come in here, but right now there's no generative AI inside of 2026. Now, the first one here is edit and enhance 360 and virtual reality VR videos. I don't happen to have one of those, so let's go over to the Adobe site and take a real quick look at their sample video. This right here. Now this is showing the full 360 wraparound. You can see the person right here, and then here's his arm right over there. So that's the full 360 wraparound. And you click on the button right down here. It then stretches that out, so you're seeing just a certain section of that. And you can then position this for which part of the video you want to watch. And of course, since this is inside of Premiere Elements, you can also add in your graphics on top of this, your text, your titles, all that kind of stuff, your effects. Everything else will work here with your 360 video or VR video. It's a real exciting new feature here, being able to handle these videos. Again, if you have the hardware for that. Okay, back over here into Premiere Elements 2006. There are several text enhancements in here. Enhanced text with color fonts and emojis. We'll look at this more deeply here in just a moment. There's a new Freehand Crop tool in here, allowing you to adjust the crop that you want. And there's faster import from Organizer, including cloud services like Google Drive and OneDrive. This is over again in the Adobe Elements Organizer. Okay, let's go ahead and we'll load up a video clip and take a look at those color fonts and emojis. Here we go. Let's now take a look at our fonts. So up here to titles and shapes, and let's go into edit. And just click in here and get an edit insertion box. Basically, it's giving us a title card right here. Let's type in new font on this and double click to select that font. And then left hand side where we have text, that one's in Roboto. I'm just going to scroll up in here and see what else we have. Now, unfortunately, we can't see samples over here right hand side of the color of the text. We can see them over here. You can see prime color B, prime color CV1, prime color G, prime color M. Take a look at one of these. I'll do the prime color CV1. That's like that. Come down to prime color R. This is one of the new fonts in here. And go back to the Move tool. And as you can see, it's a full color font in here, font style. We can change the size. All the standard tricks can be done in here with the font. Depending upon the font, you may find several different color variations, such as we have one right up here with prime color M. Different coloration, as you can see. Let's just go up here to prime color G. Again, a different coloration on that one. Now, a good example of how this can work, and it's not fully implemented yet here in Premiere Elements, but I'm sure it will be in the next year or so. This is a font called Honk. Let's just go up and find that one here. There we go. Got interesting basic font, but notice over here we have several different options. This is a brush look. Here is a ninja look. Notice that the shape of the font actually changes in here. Here's an irregular look. Again, different font shape. Almost like it's a different font. So you really can have several fonts included in just the one font. Here's rounded. Here's the softy look. Here's a balloon look and a wood look and also a flower look. So again, several different font styles inside the same font. Another example of this is right down here. And this has several different colors in here because there's one color. And again, we have different color options in here. Here's a green color option. These are coming in as separate fonts up here, but they could have all of this inside just one font if they wanted to. You could have this changeable right from a drop-down menu. We'll go back up to here again. And there are more things you can do with fonts. For this next bit, you have to go over here to the advanced mode. It's only available in advanced mode. And let's just bring our fonts back up again. Double click on that. And I'll change this just to a standard typeface. I'll just choose Arial, which is real basic. Right here, and set this at Arial Black, nice and thick typeface. You see it right here. Now, the new thing in here, again, this only shows inside of the advanced mode. And that's this style dropdown right here. With the style dropdown, select our font. We can actually change the style just by clicking on these different styles in here. Notice we have a lot of different styles to choose from. And it changes the font and the color and the outline, a lot of things. And then deselect, you can see the whole font like that. Let's double click again. If you want to see everything, go over here and click on View More Styles. And as you can see, there are a lot of styles in here. And if you want to place this onto your text, all you have to do is just click on it, and it changes to that style. Real easy to use. You can even mix and match styles in here. Whatever is selected will get changed. This is a great new addition, especially if you like doing fancy titles inside of your videos. This gives you a lot more options. Click on this little icon right here, and you can duplicate this. You can set this as the default. You can add this to a favorites list. Also up here, notice that we can create your own styles right here. So for instance, I'll triple click on that. Let's go back here to our styles. I can come down here and change the typeface. Let's go over here to Quicksilver like this. Let's make this italic like that. So I've made a couple of changes in here. It's a little different look. I can come down here and actually change the appearance if I wanted to. Fill, stroke, background, and the shadow. Just include a shadow on that. You can see here's our kind of a green shadow with a lot of controls in here. Let's increase our distance on the shadow a bit. There we go. So we've created a new look in here now. And right here it says add a text style. Let's choose create style from text selection. You can give it a name right here. I'll just call it green shadow. You say this for this project or say for all projects. Choose OK. And here it is on a little drop down. These are our favorites. Let's bring back up our list in here and go to My Styles. And here's our new style that we just created. So this opens up a lot of possibilities if you want to be real fancy with your type. Another new feature you'll notice over here is, as I roll over these buttons, we get these big pop-up windows with little animations on them, giving you kind of an idea of what's inside that particular menu area. It's not a real big tutorial or anything. It just gives you a quick idea. Same thing over here, right-hand side. These are the rich pop-ups. Now, if you don't want to see these, it's easy to shut these off. Go over to the Edit menu, come down here to Preferences and General. And this right here, Show Rich Tooltips. You can just turn that off. You can also turn off the contextual pop-ups if you're dropping in media. There are some new emojis in here. Go up here to Edit and come down to Emoji and Symbols. Brings up a little pop-up menu right here. And a lot of emojis and some GIFs as well. Let's look at just the emojis and different kinds of emojis here. We have smiley faces and animals, people, celebrations and objects. So a lot of emojis. We'll click on a new type window right here. Double click on that, select that. Let's change our font to something real standard. I'll just get into the A sections in here and let's just come down and find Arial. Arial Black, that's good. And then edit emoji and symbols. Double click and there's two of those. Let's try something else. There we go. That one's not working for whatever reason. I'm not seeing that, but we are seeing these big happy faces in here. And there are a lot of different emojis in here. So very easy to use. Again, just click and it places in that emoji. Back over here, left-hand side in templates, there are new templates that have been added in over here into the titles and shapes section. While we're over here, come down to this ST. This brings up the stock media. This gives you access to a lot of stock media from Adobe Stock. So a whole bunch of things in here. We also have photos, audio, and special effects. To bring one of these in, just click on the video thumbnail. It'll give you a lot of results in here. As you can see, 1,000 results, all based on that beach theme. Just take one of these here. We can then download this right from Adobe Stock. You can download either in HD or 4K. I'll do HD. This, of course, requires a current internet connection. I can then drag that in and just drop it right onto my timeline. And here's that new bit of stock from Adobe Stock. Let's just slide down here. Okay, one more new tool I wanted to mention here in this quick video, and that's over here. Bottom left-hand corner of the main program monitor. Have the crop tool right here. And you now can come in here and freehand the crop tool. Just grab the corners here and you can then pull this around to be any shape that you want. You can even reposition this on your scene. So a very useful tool if you are changing to different formats or if you're doing different special effects with windows overlaying other windows. So a lot of new features here inside of Premiere Elements 2026. Nothing in here that I think is groundbreaking unless you're using 360 or VR video. In that case, being able to edit that here in Premiere Elements 2026 is a great new additional tool. If you want to learn a whole lot more about how to use Premiere Elements, take a look at my complete training course, and I'll put a link for that at the top of the description. And if you like this video, make sure you hit that thumbs up. Also, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any videos in the future, and I'll see you next time.